Welcome, Libra, to your May Astro Dice reading. Hope your friends are doing great out there. If your friends like this, hit that big old like button and subscribe. Okay, friends, let's see what's going on with you. Best message coming out. And for those of you who are new, this is where we're taking astrology with tarot and making a small horoscope using only one of the 12 houses. So, best house, please. Tell us what's going on. Best message. Hold on one second. Got the 4th house coming out with some Aries, with some North Node energy going on over here. The North Node over here is talking about the experiences that align with your soul's destiny and from which you can gain advancement in your spiritual development and karmic path. Okay, so this appears when speaking of the karmic gain and soul growth as well. So talking about that karmic journey going on. Okay. So we don't have a North and South Node card over here, so I like to use Vesta because it's the goddess within your sacred spiritual center and quiet dignity. So, okay. So that's the card we're going to use. It's talking about that spirit, talking about that center, right? So same thing. Your spirit, your karma. Going straight to the Aries over here. This is talking about the energy around you is dynamic and spontaneous. Crusading impulsive action is likely to occur. So, okay. Going straight into that 4th house. The 4th house is your home and the roots of your being. This is your family, your house itself, your dog. Your comfort zone, right? Your house. Okay, so getting straight into the situation. So we have something that has to do with your karmic roots within your home, your family, your being, yourself. Straight into the situation. Situation is taking place in the beginning of the month, middle of the month, and the end of the month. Clarify on the beginning of the month, please. We're talking about domineering and controlling. Could be dealing with an Aries or Aries Taurus, cusp or a Taurus. Also talking about discovering the truth when it comes to situation. You might be dealing with someone who's very stubborn at this time. You might even find that they're a little rigid about some kind of situation. It does feel about, what is this? This stubborn information that's coming in. It's almost like you're looking for some kind of excitement, but the news that's coming in seems a little like it's lack in discipline. Somebody could be domineering the situation. It looks like you want to have some kind of news. You want to have some kind of excitement, but all you're getting is heartache. I think that you wanted someone to come back around, someone to, feels like you want to go out, you want to explore, you want to have some excitement going on in the beginning of the month, but it's not happening. If anything, there's a lot of heartbreak and a lot of grief going on within the situation. It feels like somebody around you is being very, very stubborn about the situation. Maybe you want to go out and you want to go to the movies, you want to go out and have fun, but somebody else is like, I don't want to do these things. You know what I'm saying? And it could be, we're talking about family over here. So somebody within the home. So there could be actually feeling like there's a little bit of depression, a little bit of sadness around this. Feels like, you know what? Maybe you're stuck with someone who doesn't want to go out and do things. They're dominating the situation. So it does feel like you are kind of redirecting the approach of how this situation is. And it does feel like you thought there is that karmic lesson. There's that karma coming up. Feeling like you did want some kind of improvement within this relationship, but it feels like, it just seems like it's a karmic runaround. You were looking for some kind of positive change. Maybe you thought that they were going to change, but then they ended up going right back to their stubborn ways, right back to their rigid ways, right back to where they started from. So it does feel like maybe they even confess that, you know what, I was acting like very stubborn and maybe we should go out and do stuff. But then as soon as you want to get out to do something, they go right back to where they were. So it's kind of like a karmic trench. And it just seems like, yep, there it is, karmic trench, the Wheel of Fortune, and karmic life cycles. So it just feels like you're in this kind of karmic trench where you feel like maybe I'm in a relationship that's just not good for me. It just doesn't feel like there's a turning point in which I want this to turn in. You're waiting for this beautiful turnaround, right? And you're kind of like, okay, whatever doesn't kill me, you know, only makes me stronger type of situation. But then it gets to the point where it's like, but now we're never doing anything. I expected you to change, but you're actually changing right back to where it was before. So it's definitely the karmic runaround. It's almost like they were just like returning back to old habits. It's literally what it feels like. You thought there was going to be some kind of change around. It's almost like they even confessed, like, yeah, you know, I wasn't really feeling like that, but you're right, we should go out and do things. And then they went right back to where, beginning of the month, they went right back to where they just came from. It's almost like they're getting caught up in work, they're getting caught up in their own daily routines and kind of keeping you out in the cold, leaving you hanging in the middle of the month. Yeah, see, you wanted something impulsive, you wanted something dynamic. But instead it wasn't. Yeah, see, it's almost like they have all these multiple priorities going on. They're doing all these things, but you're not included. They're not including you. They're not, you know, it's almost like you want to go out, you want to have fun, you want to go out with the kids, you want to do some things, but they're doing what they want to do. Always too many problems. And they could even be playing victim to it. Well, you know, I have this work and that work. And it's almost like, I just feel like they have a lot of defense mechanisms going on over here to why they can't be with you, why they can't put that down, why they can't, you know. It's almost like you're gravitating towards wanting this happiness and this freedom, but it just feels like they have a lot of excuses to why they can't go out and be with the family, why they don't want to do things with you. So they're really kind of testing your own faith and your own might over here at the middle of the month. It's almost like to the point where you're kind of looking at your choices and looking at the purposes of where your happiness really is, because it really just feels like this person is giving off all these red flags of why they don't want to be with you, or why they don't want to, you know, include you. I just feel like you know, you want to go out, you want to go do some things, and they're just not there. They're not there this month. So you're kind of looking at your karmic cycles over here in the end of the month. No passion within the relationship. It's kind of like the relationship, the flame has died within the relationship when it comes to this relationship. The delays and the frustration of getting to your wishes fulfilled by getting to something that's happy, by getting to these movies, getting somewhere, doing something. It just feels like they're delayed. It's almost like I want to try one more time, but it just feels like you're kind of afraid to try again, because every time you try again, it's almost like they're in their own control. They have their own control. They have their own mind game. They have their own things that's going on. And it just feels like they're not including you, the kids, whatever, however it is, right? Whatever is going on within this household. It just feels like you're alone within the situation. And it's like they're not even trying. And that's exactly how you feel in this situation. It's literally what it looks like. You're like done, like they're not even trying. You're giving out all these commitments, and it's almost like they're giving out commitments that are higher than the family's needs. You see what I mean? So it's kind of like they're saying, well, because this project that I'm working on, I couldn't possibly take 6 hours off to go watch a movie with you guys because I'm so overly committed. But then it comes to the point where it's like, if you're so committed to everything else, but you don't commit any time to me and the kids or whatever, or to the house itself. So it's almost like they're committing themselves to other institutions and other things going on, but not to you. So losing passion within this situation. You feel like this is a very reckless situation. So at the, this month it's gone, it's kind of like it's gone too far. You said that it wasn't going to work like this month. You were actually waiting for them to give and receive, but it ended up very selfish in the end. And you're saying this is very selfish. You didn't choose, you didn't choose me and the kids or whoever, the family, over work or whatever the situation is. You're journeying off and doing what you want to do. So in seriousness, it's kind of showing you that they're happy where they are, and you're kind of seeing where their priorities really are. And it really feels like that's a lack of, yeah. Look, if they just keep giving to everything else but you're seeing this now. You're noticing that they're giving lack of passion and willpower to you. So you're like, okay, I see where your priorities are, and it's not within us or within me or within this fourth house. Not giving any attention to the family itself, to the home, none of the above. So that's really what's going on here. And you're really seeing this lack of what's going on. And lack of willpower to want to do so, which is kind of, like I said, it's kind of crazy because it showed over there, that it was kind of like, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have this transformation. I'm going to show you the intimacy, right? For some of you, it's intimacy as well. And then all of a sudden they give it all up. Okay. And they pull everything back, right? Pull everything back and go do what they want to do. So it's almost like they're more worried about their work, their legacy, the whatever it is that's going on around them, and not worried about how the relationship with you guys are. And you're definitely tuned into this, definitely by the mid-month to the end of the month, you're very tuned into this cycle of what's going on. And it's definitely a karmic test. So this is definitely a karmic relationship that just keeps playing out over and over and over again. Okay. So, and it's definitely causing some kind of personal power struggles within yourself, but it's also going to lay its foundations for sure across the board over here in the family as well, the family roots as well, in this relationship. Okay, so get an angel card over here. Yeah, you just don't see the generosity and the fairness and the giving and the warmth. There is none. Spirit says you just go ahead and improve your health when it comes to this situation. Communicate clearly. Try to find the forgiveness for them deep down inside, but there is something better that's going on within your life. So don't worry about all the little ins and outs, because there's definitely something better coming your way. Okay, so, okay, my friends. And that was it for you. Until next time, peace and love. Bye-bye.